In 1964, a young Donald Trump, aged 18 and accustomed to privilege, developed an influential impression upon meeting Othmar Amman at the Verrazano Bridge. Despite coming from a background of private schools, an elite military academy education, and living in a multimillionaire's household, he had experienced few genuine challenges. His father even allowed him to deliver papers during rain while in the comfort of their limousine. However, this encounter marked a significant turning point for Trump. He began to perceive the world through a cynical and contentious lens, believing that one could achieve greatness yet still be disregarded or neglected. This stemmed from his conviction that he had been taken advantage of, becoming someone's sucker. This harsh outlook became the driving force behind Trump's approach to life in the decades to follow. After attending Fordham University for 2 years, commuting from home and working for his father, Trump transferred to the University of Pennsylvania due to its prestigious Wharton School of Finance and its unique offering of an undergraduate business degree in real estate. He was determined to pursue a career in this field and saw no need to study any other subject. During his time at Wharton, Trump felt he had little left to learn, often stating that his main takeaway from the experience was not to be impressed by academic degrees. He believed his knowledge surpassed that of his professors and fellow students, leading to a lifelong sense of superiority. This belief in his own expertise contributed to the confident and assertive persona he is known for today. Donald's education had an unconventional yet highly effective source: his father, Fred Trump. Rather than solely focusing on textbook theories, Donald absorbed a wealth of practical knowledge about real estate through years spent walking construction sites, observing market analysis, investment evaluation, and participating in negotiations with bankers, investors, and laborers. This hands-on experience gave him insights that rivaled those of his professors at Wharton. During his classes, Trump's familiarity with the real estate world left his classmates in awe. They noticed how comfortably he interacted with his professors, as if they were fellow insiders sharing industry secrets. His unique education prepared him well for his future endeavors and allowed him to see Wharton's prestigious degree as more of a symbol than a source of knowledge. Although he didn't wish to follow in his father's footsteps, the company provided an ideal platform for him to launch his career and rise quickly within its ranks. He saw it as a stepping stone towards building an even more glamorous empire, one that would surpass Fred Trump's rent-controlled and government-monitored real estate world. Donald Trump's first significant foray into real estate began in Cincinnati, Ohio with the revitalization of Swifton Village, a 1,200-unit apartment complex that had seen better days. Purchased for $6 million and initially attracting lower-class tenants, the Trumps invested $100,000 and set about transforming it into an appealing living space for middle-class residents. To achieve this, they focused on cosmetic improvements such as installing white shutters and colonial white doors, repainting hallways, refinishing floors, and landscaping the grounds, all elements that would become his trademark in future projects. Advertising was also introduced, a novelty for an apartment complex of this nature, allowing Trump to elevate his brand in the public eye. The strategy proved successful as Swifton Village soon reached 100% occupancy. With annual income reaching $700,000, it was time to sell. The Trumps found a buyer in Prudent Real Estate Investment Trust and negotiated a sale for $12 million, a $6 million profit on their initial investment. This early project encapsulated the key elements of Trump's future real estate career: buying overlooked properties, investing in major upgrades, focusing on cosmetic changes, attracting a higher-class clientele, mastering brand management and promotion, selling at the right time, and achieving substantial profits. While the scale and glamour of his projects would grow exponentially, so too would his unique and often controversial style. After his initial success, Trump's career took off as he was appointed president of the family business, which he rebranded to the Trump Organization. He embarked on a series of investments and developments that would become legendary. His sights were set on Manhattan, and with his father's support but also understanding of his son's ambition, he ventured out independently. In 1978, Trump transformed the Grand Hyatt Hotel, previously known as the Commodore Hotel, near Grand Central Terminal. He also negotiated for the construction of Trump Tower, a 58-story skyscraper in Midtown Manhattan, which became his home, the Trump Organization's headquarters and the crown jewel of his empire. Completed in 1983, it played a pivotal role in New York City's recovery from its decline. Trump marketed himself as a real estate genius, leaving few grounds for disagreement among competitors or the press due to his overwhelming evidence. In 1986, he took over and completed the construction of Central Park's Woolman Rink in just 3 months at a cost well under budget. He then offered to run it for a year with profits going to charity in exchange for concession rights. In 1985, Trump purchased Mar-a-Lago, an iconic Palm Beach, Florida mansion built by Marjorie Merriweather Post. Since then, he has turned it into his southern retreat and a private club with annual dues above $250,000. Intrigued by the casino industry's profits, Trump opened Harrah's at Trump Plaza in 1984 and acquired the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City in 1988. Despite some setbacks, he managed to navigate through challenges by restructuring debt and skillfully managing public perception. Trump built his reputation on high-end real estate deals but truly excelled at branding himself globally. He was omnipresent, gracing magazine covers, appearing on prominent television shows, and consistently staying in the news. Embracing the philosophy that all PR is beneficial as long as one's name is spelled correctly, he leveraged every opportunity to promote his image and empire. Donald Trump transformed himself into a business powerhouse by licensing his name and image for lucrative deals in various sectors such as sports franchises, beauty pageants, modeling agencies, board games, wineries, steaks, airlines, and clothing lines. He authored best-selling books like The Art of the Deal and became synonymous with success. Fred Trump's hope for his son to become both king and killer was fulfilled as Donald emerged from his shadow. Despite his public image, a personal tragedy deeply affected him. Donald kept a picture of his older brother, Freddie Jr., on his military academy dresser. Freddie Jr. was expected to be the family's heir and real estate superstar, but struggled with academic and athletic abilities compared to his siblings. His father, Fred Sr., saw Freddie Jr.'s introspective nature as a weakness, leading him to view his son as a disappointment. Freddie Jr.'s true potential was in a different path than the family anticipated. Instead of attending the elite Q Forest school like his siblings, he went to St. Paul's, an Episcopal boys' prep school on Long Island. This decision raised concern among family and friends, who feared it might emasculate him or strip away his aggressive instincts, transforming him into an Ivy League wimp. Fred Jr., attempting to meet his father's high expectations, first applied to Wharton School of Finance but did not get accepted. Instead, he enrolled in Lehigh University and joined the Air Force ROTC while claiming to be Jewish to gain acceptance into a fraternity. Desperate for belonging, Fred Jr. took on various roles to please his father after graduating in 1958 and working alongside him. However, their dynamic was doomed due to Fred Sr.'s demanding nature and Fred Jr.'s lack of ruthlessness and aggressive cost-cutting skills. Outsiders recognized the inherent flaws in this partnership before Fred Jr. himself did. They understood that Fred Jr. was trying to be the tough businessman his father wanted, but this only set him up for failure and endured his father's harsh criticism. Fred Sr.'s lack of praise further discouraged Fred Jr., who eventually left the family business to pursue his dream of becoming an airline pilot. Sadly, Fred Jr.'s struggle with alcoholism overshadowed his flying career, leading him down a dark path. He died at the age of 43 on September 26, 1981. Donald, Fred Jr.'s younger brother, recognized the significant challenges Fred Jr. faced within the family and deeply mourned his older brother's passing, calling it the saddest part in what I've been through. In 1990, Donald Trump admitted to Playboy magazine that the competitive nature of his family may have contributed negatively to Fred Jr.'s life, leading him to a tragic end as a pilot. Initially dismissing his brother's career change, Trump later regretted his words and learned a harsh lesson from Fred Jr.'s death. He believed that Fred's downfall was due to his inability to be ruthless, or as Donald put it, he just wasn't a killer. This experience shaped Trump's life philosophy, teaching him to always remain vigilant against those who would take advantage of him. These lessons seem more reflective of Trump's innate personality than the death of his brother alone. They have haunted him throughout his career and contributed to his hard-nosed image in both business and entertainment sectors. Despite having experienced only wealth and ease, Trump often speaks as if he comes from a background of adversity and mistrust towards others. He sees life as a constant battle for survival and believes that expecting the worst from people is a beneficial trait. This contrast between his upbringing and his worldview adds an intriguing layer to understanding Donald Trump's character. Donald Trump's combative approach to life and business was an amalgamation of his upbringing under the watchful eye of Fred Trump and his own innate personality traits. From a young age, he exhibited a fierce determination and resentment that was further fueled by his experiences at New York Military Academy. Unlike others who might have pursued business for personal abundance or camaraderie, Trump's primary motivation was to win at all costs. This, he believed, was the ultimate meaning of life. The turning point in Trump's career came when the Trump Organization was accused of racial prejudice in its renting practices by the U.S. Justice Department on October 15, 1973. This suit enraged him due to the satisfaction of many black tenants and the fact that similar allegations had been made before. It was around this time that he met his formidable ally, Roy Cohn, a grizzled warrior with an impeccable reputation as a fixer, influence peddler, and courtroom brawler. Known for his work alongside Senator Joseph McCarthy in the 1950s to expose communists in government and Hollywood, Cohn's skills proved to be invaluable for Trump during this challenging time. Cohn's life was enveloped in paradoxes. He identified as Jewish yet expressed blatant racism and anti-Semitism. His sexual orientation was gay, but he often denounced homosexuality. A devoted American patriot, he moved comfortably within New York's criminal underworld. Cohn had a dual nature, hostile to adversaries and nurturing towards friends. He upheld a stringent personal code of conduct that was incompatible with mainstream ethical standards, leading some to question his sanity. An eccentric man, once he placed a pen in the hand of a deceased individual to alter a will. Trump encountered Cohn at Look Club in New York where they were seated nearby. As per Trump's recollection from The Art of the Deal, he immediately engaged in verbal sparring with the renowned attorney, testing his mettle. The common strategy for Trump was to initiate a conflict, evaluate the other person's resilience, and either form an alliance or disengage. With Cohn, Trump aimed at his supposed weakness, distaste for lawyers. Cohn surprisingly agreed with Trump's assessment. They continued their conversation, with Cohn revealing his preference for confrontation over compromise. He was known for his impatience and boredom-proneness. Trump then brought up a real issue that the government had filed a civil rights suit against his firm, accusing them of discriminating against blacks in housing projects. His lawyers recommended settling, but Trump craved a fight. Finally asking for Cohn's advice, the seasoned courtroom fighter suggested that Trump should fight the charges in court and force the government to prove discrimination, considering there were black families living in his buildings. Trump was ecstatic when he found Cohn, an attorney who shared his aggressive approach towards law and unwavering loyalty. Hiring him on the spot, Trump appreciated Cohn's total war strategy and his steadfast nature, a stark contrast to the backstabbing individuals Trump had encountered before. Cohn's handling of a high-profile case against the federal government exemplified his brutal style. In a shocking press conference at the New York Hilton, he announced that the Trump Organization was suing the government for $100 million in damages over unfounded civil rights claims. Despite the government's confidence in their case, they were taken aback by Cohn and Trump's fierce counterattack. Rather than an easy victory, the government settled for a minor agreement, which the Trump Organization celebrated as a triumph. Cohn not only served as Trump's attorney, but also as a mentor, teaching him ruthlessness, fearlessness, and a relentless pursuit of success. Their intense bond, built upon rage, vengeance, and commitment to victory at almost any cost, would become the cornerstone of Trump's business empire and aid in his journey to the White House. Roy Cohn and Donald Trump, two enigmatic figures in American history, each had their own motivations driving them. Roy Cohn's struggles were apparent due to his sexuality, religion, and physical appearance in a predominantly heterosexual, Christian society. His alliances and actions stemmed from a desire for vengeance and validation. On the other hand, understanding Donald Trump's raging spirit is more complex. Born into wealth and status, what dark force haunted him at night? What shaped his combative approach to business and life? The answer lies in a mix of influences that molded his character. His father instilled in him a survival of the fittest mentality, calling him king and killer as he saw the world as a place filled with potential threats. Furthermore, Trump's education at the New York Military Academy reinforced this competitive mindset. Weekly chapel services focused on winning as the ultimate goal in life, with God's help determining success. This dog-eat-dog philosophy led to Trump's thriving within that environment and fully embracing his role as both king and killer. However, his excessive commitment to competition left him isolated from friends and drove him into adulthood believing he was put on earth to conquer and accumulate. From an early age, Donald Trump seemed to have a contentious relationship with the world around him. His stubbornness in elementary school, even going as far as assaulting a music teacher, foreshadowed his tumultuous journey. Sent to military school by his hardened father, Trump managed his anger but failed to fully conquer it. In the realm of business, Trump's perspective on humanity diverged from traditional capitalist beliefs. He saw most people as unworthy of respect and based his entrepreneurial approach on principles such as always get even and hit back harder than you were hit. In a 2005 speech, he expressed admiration for failures because they made him feel superior. Trust was scarce in Trump's world. He advised being paranoid about potential betrayal from employees or business partners. Vengeance was a recurring theme throughout his life, with Trump unapologetically praising it as a virtue necessary for success. In his book Think Big, an entire chapter dedicated to revenge detailed his penchant for retribution in the face of injustice. He lived by this credo, treating both powerful and vulnerable individuals similarly, leaving some competitors reeling from the harsh Trump treatment. Donald Trump's relationships were often strained, even with friends and business partners. One associate admitted that their dislike for him personally didn't impact their belief in his capabilities. Known for his competitive nature since his days at New York Military Academy, Trump frequently found himself alone due to his relentless ambition. The question arises, where was the religious guidance instilled in him by his mother? What about the influence of Norman Vincent Peale, who later considered Trump his greatest student? Despite hours spent in church and chapel at NYMA, there seemed to be little evidence of a strong Christian faith in Trump's life for the first 5 decades. Instead, power, vengeance, and self-obsession dominated his religion. Trump appeared unaware that his pursuit of revenge went against the teachings of the faith he claimed. He also overlooked the importance of truth in Christianity, considering truthful hyperbole as a form of promotion rather than recognizing it as deceit forbidden by his religion. His lifestyle, language, and business ethics contrasted with the principles of Christianity, and there was little indication of concern for divine will. When asked about returning to Trump, a former girlfriend said she would consider it only if he found God. Many admirers wished for a more virtuous version of him, but their hopes remained unfulfilled. Eventually, a subtle change in his religious outlook emerged. This shift was influenced by peculiar individuals in his life and played a role in shaping his appeal to religious conservatives during the 2016 election campaign. To grasp the transformation we're discussing, it is crucial to delve into the religious background that Trump had already adopted. This faith was shaped by Norman Vincent Peale's teachings and significantly influenced the persona of Donald Trump we witness today. While this belief system has largely proven ineffective for him personally and professionally, understanding its impact on his life and the implications of his eventual shift is essential. Next, let us examine the factors that contributed to this change in Trump's outlook. It was a multifaceted process influenced by various events, people, and experiences throughout his life. As he matured and navigated the complexities of political and personal relationships, Trump's perspective evolved, leading him to question some of the core principles that had guided him earlier in his career. As we delve deeper into these factors, it becomes clear that they are intertwined and form a tapestry of events that have shaped Trump's journey from a brash businessman to a more nuanced political figure. These influences range from his personal relationships to his experiences in the business world and even extend to international affairs. The process of this transformation was not linear or immediate. It took place gradually over time, with each experience chipping away at Trump's previous beliefs and molding him into a different individual. This evolution is evident in some of his more recent policy stances and public statements, which contrast sharply with his earlier, more confrontational approach. In conclusion, Understanding the religious foundation that Trump initially embraced and the factors that contributed to his shift allows us to appreciate the complexities of his transformation. As we continue to watch and analyze his actions and decisions as a political leader, it's essential to remember the journey he has taken to reach this point and the diverse influences that have shaped him along the way.